let's jump into our last one. Now, do you do med spa stuff?
Do I do what?
You do med spa stuff?
Yeah, I don't know what I thought you said. You just said it so fast.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
What did you say to me?
Say what?
No, not very often. I mean, I go see you to get Botox, and that's about it.
That's about it, okay. Well, I'm gonna do a segment on a fairly new technology that you are going to see in med spas coming up very quickly, if not already. And this is the InMode Quantum, a new fat removal and possibly skin tightening procedure.
Ooh.
Isn't it fancy looking? Yeah.
Looks like it
cool
hurts.
It's actually not too bad.
Is it pointy
I
at the
did
end?
one for the first time yesterday.
Oh.
And also too, like, we do have this. I'm not telling you to come in and get this from me. This is trying to be informational. I'm not saying come to my place and get this.
Yeah, he wants you to come see
it. I'm really not. I'm just trying to educate. It's new. And I didn't know much about it, and now I had to go and do training for it. So now I know about it, and I am gifting that knowledge to the internet and to the world and to you.
I'm excited. I want to hear about it.
I'm just saying. Okay. So there are tons of non-surgical treatments out there. Some are great, some are junk. I try to get only the better machines.
Yeah, like that, like the one that's like cold, like the cold treatment that like says it removes fat and tightens skin.
Cool sculpting. Yeah, I don't like that one.
That one sucks.
I actually had that machine for a while when it was new, and I quit using it because you
didn't like the results.
I didn't like the results.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was good, but sometimes it wasn't.
I get ads all the time for that crap. I get
cool
ads.
Sculpting. Yeah. I'm not a fan of cool sculpting. So, but there are some really, really good machines out there, and InMode is one of the big ones. We've talked about Morpheus a lot on the show. Yeah. We have a Morpheus machine. I love it. Kim Kardashian talks about Morpheus. Everyone talks about Morpheus.
But is that more for your face or is that whole body?
It's either or.
Okay.
It came out for the face and neck, but now you can do the whole body. So Morpheus is made by InMode. So this is the company that makes Morpheus. And so the reason I'm talking about it, we had to replace our machine because we just used it so much. So when we got our new machine, it had this option for Quantum, and you know what, it was like not a lot to add it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess I'll add it. So I had to go do my training this past week for Quantum. And so now I know a lot about Quantum, and so I'm going to share with you guys. So as I said, you know, the technology in these machines is nice. Morpheus is really good for tightening skin in a non-surgical way, and Quantum was designed mostly to decrease fat and tighten up soft tissue, which it gets very nebulous when you say, are you tightening skin or soft tissue? I mean, both tightening skin and soft tissue will have improvements in the appearance, but obviously soft tissue, which would be the fat underneath the skin, and the skin are different
So like
things.
What will like tightening the skin look like? Like what's the result of it? You know, like does it get rid of cellulite? Does it, what
it
does
can improve
do?
the appearance, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, something like Morpheus will improve the appearance of skin for sure. But like when you think about why something may not look the way that you want it to, it could look that way because the skin is loose. It could look that way because there's too much fat tissue, or it could look that way because the soft tissue underneath is starting to wear out. You know, you think about the breast when they sag. I mean, that's a two-phase thing. That's the skin stretching, but also the breast tissue stretching, right? Two separate things. So Morpheus, which I really, really love, only really addresses the skin.
Okay.
So this Quantum addresses the soft tissue part.
Okay.
And so that's how it's different. Because I wasn't really sure when they first came out and explained it to me. The person was good. Maybe I just misunderstood them. I didn't really know exactly what Quantum was doing, but I went yesterday and did training for it. And I do think it's good, so I'm gonna describe it. So what is Quantum? Well, it's radio frequency energy. We know that thermal energy causes remodeling of tissues and it causes contraction. It also can reduce fat. So what this thing is basically a hollow rod, and we had a picture of it. And there's more pictures, you don't have to replace it. We're gonna throw some other pictures up there in a minute. But you make a very tiny hole, and some people just use a needle hole because the rods are very small. Some people will just do a little nick with a scalpel, so you end up with like a 2mm incision, so a tiny, tiny incision. You do have to put fluid in there to numb it, because this is done not in surgery. It's typically done in an office setting. So you put in fluid to numb it, and then you put this hollow rod in, and instead of using it up against the skin, which is the way that Body Tight and Face Tight work, have you guys heard of that one? Okay, so that's another one that's kind of popular. I don't love Body Tight and Face Tight, sorry, InMode. It's not my favorite. I've used it. I don't think it's bad. It's not my favorite technique. So Body Tight and Face Tight use the rod underneath the skin to heat it. This uses the rod, but the rod stays in the subcutaneous fat. Okay. And I think I got a picture, Travis, of the procedure. Okay, yeah. So this is basically the rod there at the bottom, and it's showing the different levels that you're going to go through, and it shows the fibroseptal network, the FSN, and that's really what it's targeting. So this thing's doing two things. The thermal energy actually is causing fat cells to dissolve, but it's also causing contraction and tightening of the fibroseptal network. And so that rod basically goes through different levels. I think there's another pic to follow, Trey. Yeah, there. So this is showing it after you've done it. You see the red circles on the left, and then after a little bit of, 10% is the immediate drop in contraction from the fat, basically the fat that's burned off. And then kind of the late term, you get a 25% decrease in thickness. So I actually did use this machine yesterday, which is kind of odd. They actually had hands-on training, which you usually don't see that. And I liked it. I mean, it was, for me, because of my training, it was like pretty simple. I'm like, yeah, I kind of know what I'm doing, and just have to kind of go through the motions. So I used it, and it was pretty easy to use. It was pretty comfortable with the patient, not too bad. You do have to do wraps on this. I mean, it's considered minimally invasive, but there is post-op care. And so like with lipo where you have to do compression, you also have to do compression on this. It's not quite as long. The guy that was training me was saying that they do, I guess, a couple or 3 days of 24-hour compression, and then they go to like half days, basically meaning when you're home at night.
Okay.
The results, you will get about a 25% decrease after 6 to 12 weeks.
Okay.
And I asked him about the skin tightening, and he said it doesn't really tighten skin. It's more soft tissue contraction. And he likes to combine it with Morpheus, so it's doing a dual action.
That makes sense. It
makes sense, yeah. And so, I think combined with Morpheus, it probably could give some pretty good results. I think it definitely has some limitations. It only does 25% reduction, which there's a lot of patients that come in that 25% is not going to be enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, there's patients that if they really want to get the result that they are expecting, then they need to go bigger than
they need to just get liposuction.
Yeah, get liposuction. Then you have to go bigger than quantum.
What would be like your perfect patient for
so that's a great question.
So I was like, and Morpheus.
I was thinking like, what would be the perfect patient? To me, the perfect patient would be the people that have a little bit extra fat tissue here called submental fat, or like little spot areas, like maybe like on your hip.
What about like, so like me, if I came in and I was like, I want to get rid of like belly fat, like right where your belly button is.
If it was small, then it would be very reasonable. Yeah.
Okay.
But like what you don't want is somebody that needs like the 5 pounds removed.
Yeah.
Like the quantum ain't gonna. I mean, it'll help, but like they're probably going to be a little disappointed on the back end, right? So this is definitely something where you have to pick your patients. And I got a couple of befores and afters. These are not mine. These are pulled off the internet. If you do before and after quantum up there. So I think I got 3. So again, this is kind of the exact thing I think quantum would be good for. A little bit of extra fat.
Where else would you do it besides like the neck?
Maybe the arms, the hips, maybe abdomen. I wouldn't do it on the face. People are doing this on the face. I would not do this on the face. There is, some people have told me that there's a risk that they've seen some nerve injuries from it. And here's another good one. I guarantee you these people are probably doing quantum plus Morpheus. I mean, that's just like a no-brainer combo because one's tackling soft tissue and one tackles skin. So yeah, I like that. Some people did the arms. That abdomen, I don't see a huge difference. I probably would.
It looks less like
full, maybe. Yeah. I mean, it went down a little bit.
It looks smoother to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
It looks like all crinkly.
The arm
on the
looks
left.
better.
Yeah, the arm does look better.
Yeah, that one's almost a little unbelievable because the skin looks so much tighter. I'm like, is that real? Maybe. I mean, sometimes you'll get like a really great result.
Can you do like multiple? How many times can you do that to yourself?
I think that they're only saying to do it once. It's not like Morpheus or Halo where you can repeat it.
Oh, so you're like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, actually, I don't know.
So like, if you got it like, 1 year, could you do it again the next year?
That's a great question, Sarah. I'm not 100% sure on that if people are repeating it. I'll find out for you. Yeah, to me, it's one where once you do it, like if you tried to go back and run that rod through after you'd heated up that fat, it would probably be a lot of scar tissue. So Could you do it? Probably. Would you want to do it? It would suck.
Is it recommended? Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Although maybe there may be people getting multiple treatments, but this is one where it seems like you do one treatment and it's done. Unlike some of the other ones where you repeat them to get the a little bit better result. So, but yeah, quantum. So we have it in our office. I haven't done it on any of my own patients, but I have some people that are asking to try it. So I'll kind of circle back around.
Yeah.
And see if we can get those. It'd be nice because if you can get good results and avoid surgery, I'm always a fan of that. Mm-hmm. You just have to be careful, right? With all of these non-surgical things, it's less predictable. Surgery is very predictable. Non-surgical things are not as predictable, and so it's like you hesitate a bit to be, oh yeah, do this, because if they don't get the exact result they want, they might be unhappy, and so that's why I kind of lean towards using it on people who don't have quite as big of problems.
Gotcha.
So
it looks cool though.
Yeah, cool stuff.